We are on. Do, do, do. Hello, everyone. Megan Taslaman at Thyroid Healthy Balance. One of my favorite evenings of the week is Wednesday. And tonight, I'm going to be bringing you a very, very special topic close to my heart with a particular event that occurred across the weekend just gone. And it is about, our body whispering before it shouts. And we often take our health for granted until we lose it. All right, so who's here joining me live tonight? As you jump in, I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes before I get underway with this very important topic. If you're jumping on, please give me a heart, give me a thumbs up, give me a wave, drop it in the comments that you're here, because I can often see that you're here, but I can't actually see who it is, so I see that someone's watching, but I can't see who it is. So drop it in the comments, give me a hello, let me know that you're here. If you're watching this on the replay, please do a hashtag replay so that I know that you've watched this, and then we could potentially connect. All right, so I can see some people jumping on. Fantastic. We've got 3 people here. Hey, Linda. Great to see you, Linda. Hey, Shell. Fantastic. Sharon. Awesome. Fantastic. Awesome. All right, so I'm waiting for people to come in, and I'm just going to say this channel, Thyroid Healthy Balance, is a place for you to actually improve your health and wellness, to gain some knowledge, to gain some education around what your particular thyroid challenge is, whether it's hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism, Hashimoto's, autoimmune, whether you have symptoms of thyroid issues such as fatigue, hair loss, weight loss, like heart palpitations or cold extremities, whatever it is that you're feeling, or you may have digestive issues. There are so many different signs and symptoms for thyroid issues, as well as neighboring conditions that are like a domino effect, because our hormones are chemical messengers, they talk to each other. So if you're particularly interested, and if you know anyone within your circle, a friend, a family member, a cousin, a neighbor, someone at the dog park, if you know anybody who you feel will benefit from some knowledge and understanding, some tips and tricks around whole health and wellness, with a special focus on thyroid wellness, please invite them into the group. Big shout out to Linda. Linda has brought in a few people today, which was beautiful. So welcome to all the new members that have come in recently. We've had several new members across the week, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you. Certainly tune in on a Wednesday night, which is where I do the live trainings, and also drop in the comments, introduce yourself, let us know who you are, where you're from, and what your particular challenge is, so that we can then connect you to specific live trainings that we've done in the past. This particular segment is part of the Thyroid Diary series, and we've done at least 50 episodes so far. So there's a likelihood that I can connect you to a live training that's very, very specific to your current requirements with what you're going through right now. So let us know who you are, what your challenge is, and what you'd like to gain from the group. All right, let's get on with it. Okay, fantastic. Hey, Susie, lovely to see you. Hey, Deb, good to see you, Deb. Yeah, so welcome, welcome, welcome. And tonight's topic is about listening to the subtle signs and symptoms within your body, right? Now, our body as a whole, it's not the sum of its parts. It's actually a whole organism, and it's on our side. It is absolutely on our side. So when it throws up a headache, or a bout of indigestion, or like an inflamed toe, okay, whatever it is, or some IBS type symptoms, that is your body trying to communicate to you that something is out of whack. All right. Now, our body is absolutely on our side. It is trying really hard all of the time to bring about balance within your body, which is otherwise it's actually called homeostasis. So, you know, if we're too cold, it makes us shiver so that we can actually warm up. Yeah. It is specifically designed to keep us in balance at all times. And if we ignore little signs and symptoms for a long period of time, I'm talking months to years, and specifically if we shut up those signs and symptoms with a synthetic medication, we may be missing the point. All right. Hey, Marla. Oh, great to see you here, Marla. Fantastic. Now, here's the thing, you know, it is the human condition to not want pain. Of course, like who wants to be in pain? Like it's horrible. It's inconvenient. You know, it actually impacts our quality of life. It may impact our sleep. It may impact so many different areas of our life. However, pain is also a signal that something is out of balance, something is out of whack. There is something in our body that needs to be addressed. And if we just take a painkiller and just shut down that pain, we may be missing that sign or that symptom, that message. Okay? When our body throws up a temperature, you know, it is part of society is, I've got a temperature, I've got to take a Panadol. Right? Now, who has done this, or who has heard this, or who used to do this? You know, a lot of my clients don't do this anymore, right? So if we have a temperature, it's kind of like the thought process is, I've got a temperature, I need to shut it down with an anti-inflammatory, with a Panadol. All right. Now, here's the thing. The temperature is designed to kill off the microbes that are actually, you know, out of balance or out of whack or causing distress in our body. So the temperature is significant. It actually plays a role. Okay, so obviously it depends on, you know, like the severity, if it's life-threatening and all of the things. I'm just saying, generally speaking, you know, we're kind of overriding the messages that our body is trying really hard to communicate to us because we think we know better. Our body is incredibly intelligent, and it has been, you know, evolving for a long, long time to try and continue to bring us into balance, to bring us into homeostasis. So let me ask you, who has had a health scare? You know, a health scare where they've actually, you know, and then when they've actually, with retrospective thinking, they've actually realized that there were many, many, many signs and symptoms. Or for some people, they never really realize, you know, they may not even go there. They may not even dive under the layers to take a look. But who here has had a health scare where you may have gone to hospital, or, you know, you've just been laid up in bed and you realize that actually with everything that's going on, you haven't really been taking good care of yourself, and you've kind of been thrown, you know, you know, you've been thrown, you might even feel that, you know, you're unlucky. You know, there's many different thought processes depending on how you look at it. You know, some people just think that, you know, if they have a health condition or they're struck down with some sort of health issue, that they're just unlucky. You know, I feel that in many cases, a health condition is actually lucky because it allows us to communicate back to our body and really find out and fine tune what's actually happening, what's going on. Why are you upset? Why are you unhappy? Why are you throwing all these signs and symptoms up? Why are you causing me so much distress? And the longer we ignore those signs and symptoms or shut up that sign or symptom with a synthetic medication, unfortunately, the deeper and the more chronic that condition becomes, which down the track may actually be harder to reverse. or harder to, it just may be harder, right? Because the body has suffered for so long at this low grade chronic level. And you can imagine, like, during those months or years or decades, the body has learned to adapt in the best possible way. So if we're going to get to the root cause, we have to unravel all of those adaptations to see what's actually going on and what caused this distress or disharmony in the first place. Does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense, guys. And also just drop it in the comments. You don't have to give me any specifics, obviously, for privacy and confidentiality, but drop it in the comments if you've had a health scare, or if you're coming in on the replay, if you've had a health scare, something that's really like thrown you. Like, I remember way back when I was in my teenage years, I was probably too young and immature to really consider and look at it the way I am looking at it now. In fact, I know for sure I was way too young and too immature to even consider that it was a health message, blah, 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 because I was a minor. But I remember when I had pneumonia, I had bouts of tonsillitis. I had like 3 or 4 lots of tonsillitis. I still have my tonsils, thank goodness. And then I think it was only a year after that I had glandular fever. Like, it was just like do, 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 do. And, like chronic immune insufficiency, like caused from stress, I would say, looking back. So, if that happened to me now, I would go, okay, let's look at this. What's going on? What is significant in my life? What is impacting me to the level that's causing my immune system to just kind of bail out on me? What is it? Is it too much stress? Is it disharmony? Is it emotional? Is it trauma from way back when? Is it, the mineral insufficiency? Is my digestive system out of whack? Is there a brewing autoimmune condition that's kind of like swinging? Like, what is it? I'd be really curious. I'd be really, really curious. I'd be looking at it with a completely different attitude. So if anything, what I would love for you to get out of this evening is to look at your signs and symptoms with curiosity, and with a little detective hat on, and even like start to journal it out. Like, when did this start? And what other aspect of my life correlated with that particular array of signs and symptoms? Was it when you moved home? Was it when a certain stressful event occurred in your life? Was it when you began this new job? Was it when you changed your diet radically? Like, there's a myriad of circumstances that can be linked to particular signs and symptoms, because we're all very unique and individual. But I can tell you one thing, it doesn't just come out of the blue. We don't just have a health condition that falls out of the sky. It's something that's been brewing within us for a long time, or for a sustainable period of time, before the last thing, which is the little trigger. Otherwise, it could be called the straw that breaks the camel's back, if you know that saying, and then often, as humans, we like to find out, what was it? What was the thing? Oh, it was that. Oh, it was that food that did it. Oh, that's the food that I can never have again. But generally what it is there's a whole host of different things, and that particular food that time was just the little trigger. That poor little food, blame the whole thing on that one food. It's generally not the case. There's generally quite a few layers that have occurred, and we're just blaming it on that because our understanding is that that was the last thing we had before the storm broke out. All right, who can relate? Who can understand with, oh, Linda can, fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Good on you, Linda. Yeah, so this is the thing, like, there's always many different types of factors. There's different exacerbating factors. There's long-term issues. There's short-term issues. Certain with my family member, that had 4 days in hospital last week. It was a digestive issue, which unbeknownst to me was more serious than thought. So here's an example. Like, let's say you've got chronic indigestion with certain foods. And, you've kind of just ignored it. You've brushed it under the carpet. You might take, like, I don't know, an antacid. Oh, I believe they should be banned, because it's, like, what is that doing? It's just shutting up those signs and symptoms. But we need to really address what's actually going on with the hydrochloric acid, with the digestive enzymes. Is there enough? Is there too much? Are there mineral insufficiencies? Is there an issue with a particular area of the digestive system, such as the liver or the gallbladder or the pancreas? Is there an issue with the lining? Is there an issue with the little gut microbes? Is there dysbiosis, imbalance? Is there small intestinal bacterial overgrowth? Is there some sort of issue further down the digestive tract, like ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease? Like, there are so many different elements to our digestive system which may deliver a sign and symptom such as indigestion. All right. So indigestion, it occurs typically for people, like as we age, right? And there's generally many, many reasons for that, and one of the worst medications on the planet are proton pump inhibitors, otherwise known as PPIs, or the classic name is omeprazole. They actually just, shut up the parietal cells, which means that they down-regulate and therefore reduce the amount of acid coming in the stomach down the tract. Like, that could actually help the symptom for a period of time, but down the track, what that's also doing is inhibiting your body's ability to absorb key minerals, which actually help support the matrix of our body. Our minerals are the framework. They're the backbone. We need our minerals for all systems go, all right? Okay, so they actually are also cofactors for things like, like the citric acid cycle, otherwise known as the Krebs cycle, that helps us produce energy, or adenotriphosphate, which is our ATP, which is in the mitochondria. And there are 500 to 2,000 mitochondria in every single cell. So I'm talking a lot of energy is being produced to keep our body alive, and we often think of energy as the energy for us to go and have a walk or a run or have fun with the kids, or, jump up and down a few times. I'm not actually talking about that energy. I'm talking about the cellular energy that actually helps, to pump our blood around, to actually help us think clearly, to help our body renew while we're sleeping. It's so many autonomic processes that occur that require our ATP, our energy. Yeah. So if we're not getting the right minerals or enough minerals, and then I haven't even spoken about the vitamins yet, well, then how can our body do its job properly? All right. So a medication may mask a sign or symptom, but big picture, it can cause so many other issues. So the way I like to look at it, clearly, is to just rip the Band-Aid off and actually look under the covers. Let's just see what's going on. Let's dig beneath the layers. What's going on? What's our body trying to tell us? Why is it giving us this sign or symptom? All right? It's really important. The fatigue, the headache, the dry, itchy skin. What is it? Are we short of particular minerals, particular vitamins? Is there an environmental toxin unbeknownst to us that we're breathing in or bathing in every single day that our body is actually sensitive to? Is it something within our working environment? Is it something within our home environment? And I'm telling you, sometimes it's really easy to find. Other times it can take quite a long time. Yeah. There's no one size fits all. We're all very unique and individual. And sometimes we have a complex health picture to unravel. But if you're here, it's because you care. It's because you care about your health. And I absolutely applaud you for that, because it's so much easier to take a medication and mask those signs and symptoms. But in my opinion, and also with what I can see and what I've witnessed, and what probably a lot of you being the audience have witnessed, is that that is only a short-term gain. All right. So, our body is always whispering. It's always whispering. That little headache, that little pain, I don't know, the menopausal symptom that's actually escalated to a billion out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10. Um, the horrible menstrual cycle, like during menstruation, if that's your period of time in your life, it's said, it's very well known, it's said, especially in the naturopathic world, that whatever the condition of your period, it's actually a mirror of your health from the previous month. So what is it like? Well, for those of you who aren't menstruating and are through the postmenopausal stage, what was it like? Because that also can give you a clue to your health down the track, right? So what was it like? Gives a clue, it gives a lot of insight into your hormonal health, to what might be going on from another angle. Yeah. So, yeah, like, any questions, just drop them here in the comments. Let me know, like, who here has chronic symptoms that they've had for months or years. Just type chronic symptoms. Who here, like whether you're coming in here live tonight or watch the replay, who has chronic symptoms? Yeah. Because, like, even if it's something that's not really impacting your life all that much, like, often we will really listen and we'll step up for ourselves when it's impacting our life. But on the flip side, sometimes it can just be a really small symptom. Like, okay, what's a small symptom? Yeah, like, having to get up and go to the loo at night an extra couple of times. That might be a symptom that you're not absorbing your water, you're not hydrating well during the day, and then you're actually hydrating too much during the night or during the later part of the day. So therefore it's actually causing that, which is disturbing your sleep. Yeah, so that's just a very mild, well, it can be significant, but that's a signs and symptom that tells us to have a look at what's going on with your level of hydration. Do you have the right amount of electrolytes? Do you have the mineral balance or an imbalance? Yeah. Signs and symptoms with thyroid can be fatigue, that flatline fatigue, where you're okay if you have a gazillion amount of coffees. Yeah, you're all right. You just need to fuel up and rev up in the morning, and then you're good to go. I mean, that's a sign that actually your body cannot cope too well. And at some point, it will topple, all right? Because too much caffeine can smash the adrenals, can cause or escalate adrenal fatigue. Yeah, it can keep your cortisol too high for too long. It can, there are a lot of different issues with that. And, again, I'm not, different. I'm just using that one as an example, but for some people, 1 cup of coffee is way too much. For other people, 3 cups of coffee is absolutely fine. So it just depends on, a lot of things, mainly to do with your liver, how you metabolize coffee, whether your phase 1 is faster than phase 2, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, so it's actually a lot more complex than that. But this is again why, I will never say don't have coffee to everybody, because some people are okay. And in fact, there are a lot of health benefits from an organic coffee bean, if it's made and had in the right, in honor, to honor your body at the right time of the day and for the right reasons. Yeah. went a little bit off track, but my point is that, we're all very different, and it's about listening to your body and what signs and symptoms your body is throwing up. Yeah, absolutely. I understand, Linda. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Shortness of breath. Yeah, thanks, Shell. Like we've all got our signs and symptoms. Yeah. And for many of us, we know what the cause is. We know what the issue is. We haven't yet found the exact cause. And that's okay. It might be frustrating, but it's actually okay, because you know what? It's about unraveling the mystery. And for something that might have been going on for months or years, it can take more than a hot minute or a few weeks or even a few months to unravel the symptoms. But what we want to do is we want to actually be moving in the right direction. Sometimes what can happen is when we're trying to figure out what's going on with our health, for many of us, it's a complex issue. For other people, it isn't. What will happen is other aspects of our life will begin to improve because we're doing all the good things. But the actual thing that's really problematic hasn't yet resolved, but then other areas of our life are starting to resolve. All right. So it's kind of like we're shedding the layers and we're actually accruing better health, but we just haven't got to the actual point of the point just yet. All right. So for those of you who are on their health journey, hang in there, because it's just a matter of time, and it's just a matter of, patience and actually learning about your body. Yeah. And I talk about functional testing all of the time, and I'm a big fan of functional testing to give us a leapfrog jump, to really give us a step up in the right direction so that we can really figure out what's going on. However, it's not the only thing. And I'm also a big believer that our body has a unique innate intelligence and wisdom, and each and every single person on the planet has their own unique intelligence within their own body. And if we stay still and we learn to actually listen and be really quiet, be really, really quiet, and go inwards as opposed to externally, and just listen. Sometimes we get these little messages, these little gut instincts just drop in. Like if you're called to look up something, or something flashes in your mind and you think, yeah, I think there could be something in that, that's good. That's actually a great sign. That's your body's actually trying to tell you something. Like I believe that when we connect in with our heart and when we connect in with the wisdom and intelligence of our body, the communication goes back up into our mind, and we get these messages where we can actually look further into that. Okay. Let me know if you understand, because if we were just machines, how easy would it be to fix? But we're not. We're complex organisms, and we have so much ebb and flow in us. We have our spirit within us. Like our body is our house, it's our home. So why not have a castle for a home rather than a Datsun 200B? That was my first car, a Datsun 200B. Who had a Datto? Who had a Datsun? Yeah. So anyway, my point being that, we want to do the very, very best and keep working on our health as a part of our journey for our longevity, for our health abundance, so that we can achieve the very, very best in our life. And in doing so, we always need to be listening deep, introspective thinking, introspective feeling. Yeah, staying still and listening to what our body is trying to communicate to us. And then if you really want to get analytical about it, you can journal it, write it all down. and then reflect back on that. And just, you might even close it and go, you know what? I have no idea what that's all about. And then in a few days' time, you might go, aha, I never thought about that. Yeah. Our body is always, always on our side. It's never against us. It's always trying to give us the messages. All right. So who here is ready to find resolution to their issue, resolution to their sign or symptom? Yeah. So if you've got a chronic issue or a small sign and symptom that you've had forever and a day and things just aren't quite up to scratch. For example, your digestion isn't quite up to scratch. You've been getting by and you've been dealing with the signs and symptoms, but it's just not quite right. It may not have the impact on your life just yet, or it may never have a major impact on your life. However, it's under par. It's not quite right. Yeah. So do we want to just kind of suffer in silence and just deal with it and keep band-aiding it up with medications? Or is it the time for you to actually find the clarity through the investigation of what's actually going on in your body, which may take a couple of months, or let's be honest, it may take a couple of years. However long it takes, it's better to start, in my honest opinion, the sooner we start on our health journey, the closer we get to the resolution. Yeah. The longer we put it off, the further away we are from resolution. All right. So I'm ready. I've been on my health journey forever and a day. I think I was born to just be on this journey forever. I'm always fine tuning. I'm always challenging my system. I'm always challenging my body. Like, what else is there? Is this all there is? Is there a better feeling? How much fitter can I be? How much more resilient can I be? How much more clear in my mind can I be? Can I actually feel even better in the morning than yesterday? I'm always looking for better abundance, to feel absolutely amazing, because guess what? That is everybody's birthright. Every single human being on this planet. It's actually ours. It's for us, to live in harmony within our body, to live in harmony within our community, and to live in harmony across the globe. That's, I believe, what life is actually all about, So the long way is actually the short way. There's no shortcuts to health. There's no magic bullet. There's no silver bullet. There's no band-aid. There's no quick solution. There's no quick fix. The long way is the short day. It is a short day at the moment. It's the middle of winter. The long way is the short way, is what I'm saying. All right. So who here is ready? If you're ready, if you're coming in and watching the replay, if you're new here in this group and you've got some niggling signs and symptoms or some chronic issues that you really like to get a handle of, really like to get some resolution for, I'd love you to type, I'm ready, here in the comments. Claim it. This is your health. This is your life. This is your health abundance. Whether you are age 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, it does not matter. This is your time to actually step up and claim your health. Yeah. And if you can create a small shift within the first month, that is amazing. If you can create a bigger shift within the second month, that is fantastic. And then if you can create enough of a shift after the time we've worked together so that you actually know what you're doing and you've created your pathway and your dietary and lifestyle blueprint that's going to serve you and help you continue on your journey towards health abundance. Well, isn't that just fantastic? Like, who doesn't want that? Right? So I would love you to type, I'm ready. Okay. If you're ready to actually claim what is your birthright, your health abundance, whether you have hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, a chronic autoimmune condition, a chronic digestive issue, all right, or just subpar energy, stress, poor stress management, you know, you haven't been able to lose the weight, you've had weight issues forever and a day, and you've had that yo-yo situation going, and if you've got metabolic issues, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, because I'm telling you, the body's connected. And although I specialize in thyroid issues, more often than not, most people that come to work with me, there may be a thyroid issue, but there's often many other things going on. So what we do is we generally look at the digestive system, because all health starts in the gut and then go out from there, because that's the seat of exchange, that's the seat of absorption. And we often look at what's going on in the digestive system first to actually heal what's going on in the outer layers. So whatever is going on for you, you know, type I'm ready, and what will happen is myself or beautiful Shell, who is my beautiful PA, will reach out to you, and we'll set up a time where we can have a 10-minute conversation. And from there, you'll be able to get an understanding or an idea whether I'm the right fit for you, and then we can move forward from there. But if you don't know, you'll never know. So if you'd like to have a chat, which is obligation free, just type I'm ready, and we'll reach out to you very, very soon. And in the meantime, just maybe get a piece of paper and a pen, and just list down all of your little signs and symptoms. What are the little niggles? What are the little whispers? Yeah, because we want to get to those whispers before they shout. You know, whether it's that you've had a few more colds in the year over the last couple of years, you might have an earache, you might have tinnitus. You know, there are so many different signs and symptoms. You might have indigestion, you might have bloating, and you've just put up with it. You know, you might have bouts of diarrhea. Like, there are so many different signs and symptoms. So whatever it is for you, you know, don't settle for second best. Don't settle for second best. It's your right to have the very best for your health and wellness. Alrighty, that's it from me. And I will look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. And in the meantime, if you have any friends, family, associates, work colleagues that you feel will benefit from this particular platform, Thyroid Healthy Balance, to gain some insight, to gain knowledge, understanding, education, or the prompt that they need to get their health in order, please invite them into this group, or just send them a message with the link, and then we can take it from there. All right, that's it from me. Have a beautiful rest of the week, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.